Hey there, and welcome on back. As always, I'm Carl with Target's Attitude, absent-minded professor, knives, and all things sharp. Sit on back, grab your pens and paper. Class is about to begin. Today on Knife Basics, what your daddy forgot to teach you: the Bowie knife. Yes, I know a lot of people pronounce it Bowie, and you're not going to get into too much trouble if you pronounce it that way, because that does the way it looks. But Jim Bowie actually did pronounce his name Bowie, and the knife is named for him because he was supposedly the one who described it for James Black to make the first one with, so technically you should pronounce it Bowie. But before we get too much further than that, let's get some syllabus work out of the way, shall we? If you're new to the channel, welcome. We do knife reviews and occasional reviews of camping and survival gear on Fridays. Here on Monday, we do Knife Basics, what your daddy forgot to teach you. This series is mainly aimed at those who are fairly new to the knife world. Try to help you get to know some of the terms, get you familiar so that when you go to buy a knife or you're talking with someone about knives, you have an understanding of what they're talking about. For those of you who have been with us for a while, welcome back. I'm glad to see you again. Just got one question for you. Have you subscribed yet? No? Why not, man? So simple. Just hit that button right down there. Then you hit the bell right next to it. That way you get notified every time I put out a new video. It's a win-win situation. Win for you because, as I say, you get to know whenever I put out a neat new video. Win for me because, let's be honest, the more subscribers I have, the easier it is to get these neat new things to show you. But enough of that. We'll go on and get started with class today. So, and excuse me, my sinuses are backed up something fierce, so if I sneeze, I apologize. Allergy season is upon us, so what can I say? So, a Bowie knife. Probably one of the most classic knives, at least here in America, you're going to see. How is it defined? It's actually kind of loosely defined. Most people will say it's a fighting knife with a crossguard and a clip point, and some will even go on to say that it's got a wider style blade. So, going by that, if you really wanted to, you could call this a Bowie knife. It's got the crossguard. It could be argued that that's a clip point, even though it's really more of a drop point. The blade is reasonably wide. It is a fighting style knife. But it's just, I don't consider this a Bowie knife. I do consider it a fighter, but I don't consider it a Bowie. This particular one is from A&R, which is a Russian company. And it's the Corsair, or Corsair, which basically means pirate. And it is just a very sweet knife. I really love this. But as I say, I don't consider it a Bowie. I don't think many people would. So if this isn't a Bowie, what is? Well, just a minute, let me get this. Oh, come on. Snap. There we go. Snap didn't want to close. This from Elk Ridge. Elk Ridge calls it a large hunter. But that is a classic Bowie style knife. And yeah, Bowies make fantastic hunting knives. You can see that the blade is longer than 6 inches. It's fairly wide. It's got the classic clip. It should have, and this is a through tang as opposed to a full tang. You notice that the can't tell where the tang ends, except that from the pommel, you know that something's going into there. Not a bad knife, but what else would qualify as a Bowie knife? Nothing wants to snap today, huh? Well, we've always got something like this. A straight old-timer classic Bowie. I mean, that's a friggin' huge blade. That's good 10 inches, if not 12 inches long. I don't see much point in carrying a knife that big, but this is a classic Bowie. That's definitely. I mean, it's got the nice belly, it's got the clip point, got the cross guard. What else? You don't always find them quite so classic, though. For instance, this knife. This is a Bowie, or Bowie. This particular one was a prototype from Wii that I picked up at Blade Show. And classic clip point, very wide blade, cross guard, very comfortable hilt. This one is a bent hilt, which just feels really nice and kind of helps with the swing and control of the knife when you're trying to use it. A little unbalanced, maybe, but not bad. It's definitely blade heavy. But still, gorgeous, gorgeous knife. I sold all my Bowies that had coffin handles, which is another pretty standard style of Bowie. So let's take to the net, shall we? And I'll see if I can't pick up some good images of coffin handle Bowies to look at, shall we? As I said, Bowie knives, quintessential American knife. This one is in the Texas Ranger Museum down near Waco, Texas. And it looks like a pretty standard Bowie knife, but the inscription on it is what makes it interesting. Apparently, this knife was given by Jim Bowie's big brother to a Colonel Lacey, who was a Texas Ranger. This makes this a very historic knife. And a beautiful knife, even if it wasn't so historic. Oops, come on, come on. This gives us a selection of some of the Bowies that are out there and still being made. Most of these are commemorative editions made to honor Jim Bowie, or Bowie. Some of them are nice, and some of them, to be completely honest, are trash, but you can expect that on any knife of that sort. So let's see where we get here. Oh, come on. There we go. This one is from Case. Yes, it is a commemorative knife, but what can I say? Case is just, you can't beat their quality. These are all Mula knives, all Bowie knives, but Mula is a Spanish company. So yeah, they've definitely grown beyond the U.S., that's for sure. They do a beautiful job there too, I gotta admit. Of course, we've got custom makers making new Bowie knives. This one has the classic coffin handle shape, which is probably not entirely historically accurate, but it's still become very traditional. And Mr. Royer just does such a beautiful job with his Damascus work, doesn't he? Here's another one with a classic coffin style handle. It's called coffin because, as you can see, it looks very much like a stereotypical coffin. And it's actually very comfortable in spite of the way it looks. You'd think something with a handle like that wouldn't be that comfortable, but it's actually quite nice. This one is from Boker, a German company. Again, gorgeous Damascus pattern, but I love that handle even more. Boker is just so sweet. Timber Rattler, another Damascus pattern, and I love this handle combination, but Timber Rattler didn't do it quite as well as Gil Hibbons did. When you get into Gil Hibbons, man, you're talking about a man who knew, well, hell, he's still alive and he's still making knives, even if he is in his 80s now. And he knows Bowies like no one's business. This one is a copy of the one he designed for Sylvester Stallone to be used in the movie The Expendables. This one he calls the Highlander. Yeah, it's added a little bit of a recurve to it, but it's still very much a classic Bowie. Very sweet. And the most classic and most noticeable of all his Bowies, this one is the Gil Hibbons 3, but it's designed directly upon the knife he made for Sylvester Stallone to be used in the movie Rambo 3. And I mean, this is a big knife. In real life, it's weighing in at a couple pounds, and that blade itself is almost 18 inches long. And it's just a huge knife, but very nice. And here's one of the ones that's on my bucket list. If I can get a hold of one of these, I better believe I'm going to. The sawback Bowie is just so nice. But that gives you a brief overview of what a Bowie knife is and what it means. So there you have it. Quick down dirty about Bowie's knives, or Bowie knives. Yes, even I keep mispronouncing it. But I'm talked enough that I'm starting to lose my voice, so we'll go ahead and end this now. Just saying, it's such a classic knife. Anyone who's into the knife world as a collector is going to end up owning one. Even if your main focus on your collecting is pocket knives, you're still going to end up with a Bowie knife somewhere. It's just such a nice, classic knife. And it's the epitome of an American knife. Even the K-bar marine fighting knife was built very similar to Bowie. And yes, it's classified as a fighting knife, but it is the perfect camp knife. It is a fantastic hunting knife. You can skin your deer with it. You can butcher up the deer after you've skinned it. You can chop the meat up to put in your cooking pot. You can chop wood and make kindling to start the fire under the cooking pot with it. You can whittle tent stakes in case you lose or break some of your tent stakes. You can use it for bushcrafting easily. And most of the time, it fits your hand just so beautifully. Why would you need anything else? But, yeah, I'm definitely losing my voice, so I'll wish you luck. You take care, and we'll see you again later this week. In the meantime, I'll leave you with a couple nice videos. Got one up here I think you'll find interesting. One down here I know you'll like. And of course, there's always that silly target over here that you can click if you want to subscribe. Meantime, you take care, and we'll see you later.